Hi folks, Colin from the Dog Line here. I'd like to introduce you to Greg Van Curen, who is the director of ecollar.com, and they do the Educator Bark Collar. Bit out of uniform. I've actually gone right to the source because we're in Garrett, Indiana.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I've flown over here to have a chat to the man himself. And I tell you what, it's like going back through history and time, because Greg was one of the original founders of Inotech e-collar technology, and that's your dog dating back to...
Yeah, that's Cooper. A long time ago, yes.
Yeah, 94 written on there. Beautiful dog. So, yeah, Greg's history, he's has been one of the original developers of Inotech.
Yeah.
And that Inotech has now been sort of faded out through, people you moved it on to.
Yep.
So you've come back and kind of gone for a new approach, and you've kind of like bundled up everything that you would have done originally back then and changed the whole pattern.
Yeah, we use new technology, the modern technology, and try to make our products the most humane products available.
Cool.
With all the features that we have, there's no reason that you can't use low-level stimulation to control the barking. And
so educators are one of the bark collars we've got on our website, and we're going to go through some details about the brand new one, the refurbished ones. It seems to me, Greg, that what you've done is you've looked at every aspect of all the good bark collars on the market, and you've put it all inside that little box.
That's correct. And a lot of feedback from customers. First off, we've got a little sensor here that picks up the vibration from the dog's bark, so there's no sound from other dogs that can set this off.
Yeah, right.
Only the dog wearing the bark collar. First, when you turn on the unit, first thing that comes up is the bark counter. So this will count how many activations you've had since the last time you reset the bark count.
That's one key point there. We're not talking about the number of barks a dog's done. So it's not going to count the barks. It's actually going to count the times that the collar's been activated. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, because the bark collar has a safety feature, which is a 5-second safety delay. And what this means is, if the dog barks, he'll get the activation, and then the unit will wait 5 seconds. That way, some of the cheaper bark collars don't do that, and the dog can actually be corrected by the squeal or the vocalization from the correction.
Yeah.
So what this does, it gives them 5 seconds, and then it reactivates, and then it's ready for another bark.
So that's a nice long delay feature. Your dog has a chance to settle down, realise they've been corrected, and if the dog shakes its neck or goes, "Each, what was that?" he's not going to get another correction because there's a 5 seconds shutdown. Just getting back to the bark count feature, that's quite good, because if you get home in the afternoon and you've got a problem with your dog barking during the day when no one's home and you're getting complaints from the neighbours and the shy knocking on the door, you can turn the bark collar on, click it to that mode. It'll tell you that this collar's been activated 15 times, which means you've got 15 corrections to your dog, and you can say, well, that's a little bit too much barking and I'm still getting complaints, let's up the level. So Greg's going to take you through how the levels are adjusted as well. One more thing before you go, Greg. The other thing I really like is Greg used to have a standard collar and an extra sensitive, so what he's done with this unit is actually programmed in 3 sensitivities. How does that work? Tell us that.
Okay, all right. They'll push this through, and then first will be the bark count. Second will be the level. Right now it's set to level 1.
Yep.
Next would be the bark sensitivity. Right now it's set to medium. Now if you hold in the control button for a couple seconds, you hear that beep. Now it's in the mode that you can change. So you can toggle through high, low, and medium sensitivity.
So when we're talking about sensitivity, that's how much vibration it takes to activate the collar and give you a correction. So if you've got a big barking dog, you may need less sensitivity. And if you've got a little barker that doesn't produce a lot of vibration, you can increase the sensitivity to adjust how many times the collar is going off.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Good
really,
stuff.
very nice feature.
And the big test is, as you've seen me do in other videos, rubbing it on the bench or the dog knocking it on the ground. How does it go for oversensitivity? Obviously you can adjust it, but if you rub that on the table, is that going to activate accidentally if the dog knocks it around?
Not in the low and medium mode. In the high sensitive mode, there could be activations. Yeah. So we recommend people that are going to run it in the high sensitive mode, not to have the steel collars on them.
Yeah.
Because what can happen is they can get in there, it can bang against a unit, or they can bang against a steel dish bowl or whatever. But also some people kind of like it when the dog starts to get crazy in the kennel and and then they can receive a correction if they start dragging the box against the side, which is not necessarily a bad thing because it does, prevent that.
General rule of thumb
behavior.
though, if you do have a bark collar on, don't have another collar on because there always is that possibility that the dog's going to get corrected falsely, which can lead to other problems. So if you get a collar or you see some collar that rubs on the bench and it activates accidentally through the housing, so we're talking about this sort of thing here, and then it goes off, that's not a good thing. Your dog's going to get false correction. You'll end up with more vets from the psychologist for your dog than you will, bills from the psychologist than you will from complaints from the neighbours. Okay, so if we go around this chart, we've done the stimulation levels. How many levels of stimulation does it have?
Okay, we've got level 0. For some people, you just might want to count the barks and not correct the dog. So you can put it on level 0, there's no stimulation. It'll just be a bark counter.
Any tone?
You can turn the tone on or off.
Right.
Because some dogs become tone superstitious.
Yep.
So, and if you have other dogs, you might not want the other dog to hear the tone, because if you're training 3 or 4 dogs, another dog hears a tone, and the Pavlovian is they feel like they did something bad even though they didn't bark. The other side of that coin is that if I have 2 or 3 or 4 dogs in a pack and we put bark collars on the 2 lead dogs, and then we can put the collars on the 2 secondary dogs but leave the tone on the other dogs, when the lead dogs bark, the other dogs hear the tone, and that helps to settle things down. It does.
It can work both ways. Just because you got 4 dogs in your group doesn't mean you need 4 bark collars. We might be able to just do 1 or 2, but you can always give us a call to have a chat about that.
Exactly.
Now, the other things I like about the stimulation levels, how many levels do you have?
Then there's 8 levels.
Yep.
Which is plenty for every type of dog. Normally the level 1, most people can't even feel that.
Yeah.
That's for real sensitive dogs, the thin-skinned dogs.
Right.
They like the pit bulls. They're actually big dogs, but they're sensitive because their skin's so thin.
Yeah, you're right.
And then level 2, normal people can start feeling that. Level 3, you're starting to get into more of the corrective levels. And we found that first you can actually start at a little bit lower level.
I like to train a dog at a low level.
And then later on you can go up a little bit. Once they understand that they control the unit by their barks, then you can turn it up a little bit, because the dogs can be, if they've been barking for many years, you don't want to try to fix it in one session.
If you've seen my Barkology video on the main page, we talk about how the dog's comfort level might be here. So when you're introducing the collar, you can actually put the collar at the low level so the dog knows something's going on, and then using your bark counter, you can monitor to see if you do need to increase above the dog's comfort level. And if you go and watch that video, we talk about the high urge for the dog to bark. When his instinct comes up to here, you're still wanting to bark, so you are looking for that thing, and that gives you the ability to do that.
I mean, if you come home and you're gone all day and there's 6 barks, I think you're at the right level. If you come home and there's 40 barks, you may want to bump it up a level and then monitor what's going on.
40 activations means you're still going to get those nasty phone calls from the shoulder as well.
Yeah, because this is going to see 40 activations. That could be 150 barks.
Spot on. And what about progressive? You do have a progressive.
And then we have a auto mode, we call that. And what that does is starts at level 1. The dog barks 2 times.
Yep.
Okay. After 2 times, it'll go up to the next level. And it'll keep going up with progressively all the way up to high. So you got to be careful putting on a small dog. Because it can be too overwhelming.
Does that auto reset back down to the low
after
level?
10 minutes?
10 minutes. That's
so
pretty good.
After 10 minutes, after the first bark, it resets to 0.
Yeah, that's very good. Okay, test mode. Tell me about the test mode.
Okay. There's 2 ways to test a unit. The test mode that's built in, you'll basically go back to program mode by holding it in. Then you'll go until you see the T.
So once you push that down for 2 seconds, you can go through any mode you want.
It'll just keep cycling through.
Rightio, cool.
And once it displays a T, what you do is you hold the button down for the 2 seconds.
And it locks it in.
Now, do you hear that? That was activating the stimulation with the red light on. First, there's a little buzzer at first, and then there's the activation. So you can put a test light on here that's provided, and that'll tell you that you are getting stimulation. So if you got on a level 6 or something, your dog's not doing anything, you may need to trim a little bit of the hair, or it might not be snug enough, because you need to have the contact points touching the dog's skin.
Yeah, you could give us a call and we can advise on fitting. In fact, we set out a fitting pamphlet, which helps keep the collar in the right spot, and also, you know, whatever you do not tighten the collar. You're going to lead to getting rubbing sores and irritations, and you could end up with a whole heap of mess. So give us a call for a chat, but that's all set out in the diary.
But if you have it too loose, you can get fraying, which can cause irritations.
Yeah.
So there's just a perfect
It's the
zone.
balance. Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah.
And the trimming of the Newfoundlands and stuff, you really, even though we have the longer contact points, so you can put longer contact points on, and then there's a little plastic sensor part that snaps on that way, because you want the sensor to touch the skin too.
Because you can extend the probes, the probes that deliver, they also pick up the vibration, and this is the vibration detector, so you can extend the length of the collars for
And it
longer
just
haired
snaps
dogs
right on there.
and Arctic breeds as well. So it's given us good results. The last model's been giving us good results with the Arctic breeds, which is quite often a bit of a challenge. Okay, lithium-ion battery, fast charge.
Lithium polymer.
Polymer.
Not ion. Those are the ones that burn up. Okay. No.
He's the engineer.
The lithium polymers are the ones that are safe for travel.
Oh, okay, I get you. Well, that's the big difference. That's the Samsung difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so a 2-hour charge time.
2-hour charge.
How often do you need to charge it up? Estimate. It does depend on the level you have the dog set on, and the dog as well, of course.
I'd say like once a month I'd charge it anyway.
I reckon once your dog's trained, though, that could extend out to 2 to 3 months. But charge them up regularly just to keep it above that 0 level, because if you drop it down below,
lithium polymers,
it may not
they don't
work.
like being down and left it low.
Okay.
And what happens is right now there's a green light, and about 24 to 48 hours before you really need a charge, it'll go to amber, and then when it's red, then you need to charge
Get
right
it on
away.
the charger. So you've got nice warning systems to let you know that it does need recharging.
Yeah, and the unit goes to sleep
Yep.
when it's not moving.
Yeah, right. And so it's got a motion control.
Yes.
Okay,
So
very cool.
that's another kind of a safety feature. If the thing's not moving, it won't ever give the dog a correction.
Good stuff.
Okay. So they have to have the movement and the vibration from the dog's bark.
Very good. Okay, well, thanks for that, Greg. That's
Okay.
great.
Thanks.
Folks, if
Good
you've got any
seeing you.
questions about this, jump on the
Guys.
website. There's information there. And also, obviously, you can call us. That's our thing. We have the phone number, 1300-THE-DOG, 1300-843-364. And you can chat to the team online as well, or send through a quick email to helpdesk@thedogline.com.au. Look, send us your photos on Facebook too. Love to see you. Greg,
See you.
an absolute pleasure.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
All right. Bye.